blood is thicker than water, but Iman is thicker than blood. That's your brother that you look down at. That's your sister that you are reviling. What? Because of her color, because of her nationality, because of her tribe, because of their class, because of their postcode. So if a person is not better than another person because of the skin tone of his color, and he's not better than another person because of his tribe, or his nationality, or his block, or his gang, then what makes him or her better than another person? Because we know that people aren't all the same. Allah Azza wa Jalla talks to us in the Quran about, Sharrul Bariya. Who are the Sharrul Bariya? Who are the most evil creatures? Who are the most evil of people? And Allah talks about Khairul Bariya, the best of people, the best of creatures. So we know that there are people that are better than others. There are people that are evil and there are people that are good. So what makes a person better than others? There's a hadith of the Muslim Imam Ahmad in which the Prophet ﷺ educated on this point. What makes you better? What is the measure of virtue? The Prophet ﷺ said, "Unthur فَإِنَّكَ لَيْسَ بِخَيْرٍ مِّنْ أَحْمَرٍ." The Prophet said, you are not better than a person who is red. وَلَا أَسْوَدٍ, and you're not better than a person who's black. Or any other color. أبيض, you're not better than a person who's white. And you're not better than an Arab, and you're not better than this tribe or that tribe. You're not better than anyone for any reason. إِلَّا, except one reason you could be better than someone else. One reason you could be better than a white man. One reason you could be better than a brown man. One reason you could be better than a black man. One reason you could be better than a yellow, red person. One reason you can be better than a European. One reason you can be better than an Asian. One reason you can be better than an African. One reason you can be better than everyone. You can say, I am better. Well, you shouldn't say it yourself, but Allah will acknowledge you. Allah will acknowledge you as better. It's not for us to do it. We can't praise ourselves. Allah will tell you if you're better. Is what? أن تفضله بالتقوى. You are better than people based on your piety. You can be better than a white man because of your piety. You can be better than a black man because of your piety. You can be better than an Asian man because of your piety. If you don't have piety, you could have whatever skin complexion, whatever tribe, whatever lineage, whatever nationality. If you don't have piety, you don't have taqwa, then I hate to break it to you, my bro. You're not from the ones that are virtuous. If you base virtue on superficial things, you are lacking virtue yourself. Now, it's important because we hear this all the time. We heard the hadith, people are better based on piety. We heard the ayah, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The ones who are most honorable to Allah, the ones who have piety. What is piety then? If that's the measure for what makes you better, then we should all want to be the best. So let's look past race, and let's look past ethnicity, and let's look past postcodes and culture and nationality and flags and tribes. Let's look at what piety is so that we can adopt it. The word taqwa in the Quran and the Sunnah, it's an Arabic word which comes from an Arabic word wiqaya. Wiqaya means that you take a shield. So taqwa means to take a shield. Piety means to take a shield. What does it mean to take a shield? When you're in battle, you take that shield. Why do you take it? It's to protect yourself from the harm of the enemy. The enemy's firing arrows, they're firing shots, and you pull out your shield. And it protects you from harm. So then taqwa is a shield. What is the shield and what is the harm? The harm that you're trying to protect yourself from when you pull out your shield of taqwa is Allah's anger and His punishment. You say, Allah, I don't want you to punish me. So you take a shield. You take out a shield to protect yourself from Allah's wrath. Okay, but then what's the shield? Because you can't take out a piece of metal, or you can't take out a piece of this or that to protect yourself from the wrath of Allah Azza wa Jal. So what is the shield that protects you from Allah's wrath? It is to obey Him in that which He commanded you to do, and to stay away from that which He prohibited you. These two things are your shield. Shield is your taqwa is these two things. Do these two things. Obey Allah in everything He commanded, and stay away from what He prohibited. Your taqwa will now start to grow. Okay, what is the greatest thing that Allah commanded you? To worship Him alone. To not worship anyone else besides Him. No false gods. Whether it be an idol, a prophet, or whether it be money as some of us worship, or whether it be your woman that some of you worship, some women worship their boyfriend or their husband, whatever it is that you worship, that you love more than Allah Azza wa Jal, that you want, that you humiliate and submit yourself to more than Allah, that can become an object of worship for you if it hasn't already become one. And that's the greatest thing that you were told to obey Allah. Worship Him alone. And the greatest thing you were told to stay away from was shirk. Stay away from that. فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Don't set up with Allah partners and equals when you have knowledge. That's the first thing and the foundation of piety. If a person has tawheed and he stays away from shirk, he's got some kind of piety. If he doesn't have tawheed and he's upon shirk, he has no piety. There is no piety. The second level is to obey the Prophet in what he commanded you, to follow his sunnah, and to stay away from bid'ah, stay away from innovation. This is the second level now. The Prophet ﷺ said, وَشَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا. The greatest evil is the newly invented matters, the bid'ah. Wait a second ago, I thought you said shirk was evil. Yeah, shirk is the most evil, but shirk is a type of bid'ah. And bid'ah is the foundation of kufr, is the foundation of shirk. So to stay away from bid'ah, generally, is the second stage. And the first stage that you stay away from is the greatest form of bid'ah, which is shirk. So we're talking about the second stage. Follow the sunnah, that's the greatest command. But the Prophet told you to do it, don't ask questions. In terms of your creed, in terms of what? In terms of your actions, and in terms of your statements. You follow him in that, and you don't innovate in your belief, in your creed. And you don't innovate in your actions, and you don't innovate in your statements. And here at this stage is where the ummah divides itself in a way that is even more dangerous and severe than the division of racism, tribalism, and nationalism. And that's the division of sectarianism. The Prophet ﷺ says, سَتَفْتَرِقُ أُمَّتِي عَلَى 73 فِرْقَةٍ. My ummah will divide into 73 sects. كُلَّهَا فِي النَّارِ. All of them are in the hellfire. إِلَّا وَاحِدًا. Except for one. When asked what is that safe sect, the Prophet ﷺ said, مَا كَانَ عَلَيَّ وَأَصْحَابِي. That which I, كما قال, that which I'm upon and that which my companions are upon. What was the Prophet and the companions upon? Islam. What are they upon? Sunnah. Islam and Sunnah are synonymous terms. The Sunnah is Islam and Islam is the Sunnah. The Sunnah is the Prophet's path and the Sunnah is the path of the companions. The path of the companions, the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, who were the Salaf. So when a person says walk the path of the Salaf, they're telling you walk the path of the Sahaba. The Sahaba's path is the Sunnah, and the Sunnah is another term for Islam. Sunnah and Islam are synonymous terms. They are synonymous terms. When you look at the Quran and the Sunnah, they are used synonymously. When the Prophet ﷺ said, hold on to my Sunnah with your mawlatif, he was telling you hold on to Islam. But it's the Sunnah according to how the Sahaba understood it, as many of the evidences show. The Sunnah of the Prophet is the Sunnah of the companions. If you don't follow the companions, you've made a different sect, you've made a different group. So to call yourself a Shi'i is a division, and to fight under the banner of Shi'ism is a greater division than the division of fighting under a nationality. To fight underneath the banner of Barelvism, Sufism, Ash'arism, whatever your group may be, whatever that sect may be, the group Ikhwan al-Muslimin or whatever it might be, this is all from underneath the banner of other than Islam. Another group that we have nowadays that a lot of people have become quite confused by is a group called Hizb al-Tahrir, which is interesting because Allah Azza wa Jal actually said not to break up into Ahzab, Hizb. Hizb, the plural of it is Ahzab in the Quran. Yet we have a group that calls itself Hizb al-Tahrir. It calls itself a Hizb. So all of this, my brothers and sisters, is a lot more divisive than racism. I'm not trying to belittle the issue of racism. That is a major sin. But breaking off into groups and sects and breaking off from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is a greater division. So the same way we are, and I'm so happy that we are standing up against racism, and I'm so happy that we're fighting to get rid of this oppression of nationality and race. And when we do that, we must also remember that there are other things that we must also be fighting for as well. So the fact that racism is an oppression that divides people unjustly, we must also now fight to get rid of divisions that divide the Muslims unjustly as well, such as innovation, bid'ah, and what's even greater than it, which is shirk. And finally, the third stage of piety is to obey Allah in the obligations, the other ones, and to stay away from the major sins. The major sins. So a person, he will be a person of piety and taqwa if he's upon tawheed, the sunnah, and he is firm upon the commands of Allah. whilst abstaining from shirk, bid'ah, and major sins. And there are other levels below it as well, but these are the main ones, the foundational ones from which taqwa springs. And don't you dare ever now look at another person based on the color of his skin, or the flag of his country, or the area that he's from, or the class that he belongs to, as being lower than you, ever again. Because you don't know what's inside of his heart. Taqwa is in the heart. It's beautiful. The only thing by which we can measure goodness is not something that the human beings can see. Only Allah can see it. So as far as me, whenever I look at a man from a different color, different race, different tribe, I don't know if he's better than me. Because the thing that measures his betterment is in his heart. And that's a place only Allah can look. We can't look into each other's hearts. So as far as we're concerned, yeah, all Muslims are the same. Muslims are better than non-Muslims. Yes, Allah said that in the Quran. That doesn't mean that you oppressed on non-Muslims, but they are. Allah made them more virtuous. But now with that said, as far as we are Muslims, we don't know what's inside each other's hearts. So we leave it for Allah to judge who is better. That's not our game. That's not our game. And when you understand the answer behind why Allah made you from this tribe, and why Allah made you from that tribe, and why Allah made you from this nation and that nation, you understand, oh my gosh, that's why I am from this tribe? Hey guys, I really hope that you benefited from that video. Before you go, I want to ask you a really important question. Have you guys ever thought about studying Islam and seeking knowledge? If not, then I want you to reflect upon this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said that seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every single Muslim. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to be a scholar, but you have to know the basics in order for you to be the best possible slave and worshipper of Allah that you can possibly be. So we decided to provide a solution for this. You see, many people want to study, but they don't have the means or the resources to do so. So we set up an online institute called the Knowledge College, where you can study Islam from the comfort of your own home. So if you want more information on the Knowledge College and you'd like to sign up, go to the link below, check out the website, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.